This is Lacey Parsons presenting on the application called Gizmo. Gizmo is education technology used to explore the best STEM learning tools for the classroom. Over 400 math and science gizmos gives everybody something to graph, measure, and compare. It allows students to predict and prove. That gives them hundreds of opportunities for students to become scientists and mathematicians. Here I have linked the website here on the first slide. Once you get to the website, you're going to sign up for free, right here in the yellow box. After you go through several steps of entering your email address and school information, you will be given a 30-day free trial to explore this application. I also highly recommend you check with your administration. Many schools have paid for this technology, mine included. After signing up, you will be assigned a class code, much like Google Classroom. Right here you can see my Gizmo class code is MJBXH3. This plus sign here that I'm circling next to class 1 allows you to add multiple classrooms. Searching for material is very easy on this application. You can search by academic standard, grade or topic, or textbooks. Once you've selected a lesson, you can click Launch to explore the lesson and learn more about it and see if it fits your classroom's needs. All right. Here I've highlighted the lesson info that you can click on to download directions, worksheets, and vocabulary for your students. Here is the drop-down menu when you click on lesson info for this lesson on cell division in particular. The exploration sheet and teacher guide can be used for explaining the activity to the students. So, after you've read through it, dive into the lesson, have fun, and remember the kids will feel and exude your energy. So, with that being said, I'm going to take us through the website and an actual lesson. What I've done here is I've divided my screens. So first I will make the Gizmo app large so you can see where I'm at. Here's what your screen will look like when you first log into Gizmo. You can log in, or if your information's saved, you'll automatically be logged in. And I go right to my class 1. Okay, as you can see, I've already started adding some lessons to my class. So let's dive in to cell division. I'm going to click Launch. Recording an overview will also give students who are unable to attend class an easy way to learn and follow along with the lesson. So what I have done is I've already downloaded the student exploration sheet, vocab sheet, and teacher guide. The teacher guide is very similar to the student exploration sheet, so I'm just going to do an overview of that, the student exploration sheet. The best way to do this is to split your screen so you can follow along as you read the student exploration sheet. So, as you can see, there's some vocabulary and prior knowledge questions that the students should overview before they dive into the lesson. Gizmo does a wonderful job of explaining directions for the simulation. So let's try out a couple of these steps and see how well the directions work. So on the simulation pane of cell division on Gizmo, check that the cell length cycle is set to 12 hours. Okay, it is set to 12 hours already. Here's my simulation pane. If I needed to change those hours, I can easily change them to 20, but I'm going to leave them at 12 as the directions state. So then what I'm going to do is click play. My play button is over here. All right, I see the cells dividing and moving. Observe until the maximum number of cells is shown, and then click pause. There they go. Look at the cells. Do they all look the same? The maximum number of cells has been reached, so I'm going to select pause. All right. Check the magnify box and move the cursor over the cells. So as I move over the cells, it magnifies them for me so I can tell which stage each of the cells is going through. So of the 100 cells shown, how many cells are in the process of dividing? Really, I can only see 2. Now it tells me to select the bar chart. Okay. Turn on Show Numerical Values. Okay. How many cells are in interphase? 79. Based on these 2 observations, would you say that the cell spends most of its life cycle in interphase or in mitosis and cytokinesis? So, visually and numerically, I can tell that cells spend most of their time in interphase. All right. Now, Gizmo has you reset the phases of the cell cycle. Okay. It wants you to go through the descriptions of the cell cycle so you understand them and know the definitions well. And then here's some questions for sketching out the phases and describing them. I personally wouldn't make my students draw them out. I try to reduce the amount of paper we use at all costs, so I would allow them to either copy and paste a picture or just do the description. But we also have Google Drawings, which are really nice. I think this document could easily be converted to a Google Doc and you could insert a Google Drawing. I think incorporating all sorts of technology into your lesson is super important and an integral piece of our students' learning and becoming prepared to work out in the real world. So anything electronic that I can teach them and help prepare them is great. So here are some more great questions for the students to review vocabulary and their knowledge on definitions. What I love best about this lesson, for those of you who've already been teaching or had some experience, we all know that standardized testing for math and science includes a lot of graphs and tables and being able to interpret them. This lesson incorporates both of those pieces. So if we look here, activity B, duration of the phases. So it wants you to reset. So here's my reset button. So I'm going to reset. Then I'm going to select the table. I'm going to set the cell length to 10 hours. Okay. Just following along here in the directions, and then I'm going to hit play. Click pause when the maximum number of cells has been reached, just like the first activity. And I already have magnify clicked. That's why it's magnifying the cells. All right, I'm getting full, and there's my maximum number message that popped up. So, record the number of cells in each phase of the cell cycle in the table below, then click play. So, I'm going to record the data. All right. So, it wanted me to record the data after I played it for 10 hours. All right, and then I'm going to record these numbers in my worksheet. Okay. Once the student records the first trial, they're going to hit reset. They're going to do it again. All right, play. Then they're going to repeat this over 4 times, recording 4 sets of data for the 10-hour cycles. Okay, here they're required to calculate the average. All right, I'm going to pause, record data. Here would be trial 2 that I record. So after they go through all 4 trials, they're going to calculate the average. So here we're incorporating simple math skills of calculating averages. All right, and then interpreting the data. Here are some questions to interpret the data table. Here we have some more simple math. Based on your averages, the student is asked to calculate the estimated duration of time each cell was in certain phases. Here, it gives a breakdown of how you can calculate that. And then lastly, it also has you work with the graph. So, how quickly do cells multiply? Collect data. So we're going to start another simulation. It doesn't tell me to set the time at anything, so I'm just going to let it run again for 10 hours. When the maximum number of cells is reached, I'm going to hit pause again. And then I'm going to click the graph tab. So, almost there. Maximum number of cells have been reached. I'm going to hit my graph tab. Then here it says click the minus button. So the line shows the entire graph. Here I ask the students to sketch the line on their worksheet and describe the general shape of the graph. And now here are some questions for analyzing the graph. If the student's unable to draw, if we can't get this to convert into a Google Doc, I would accept copy and pasting. There are some awesome tools here in this application where you can do screenshots using this button, processing screenshot, and this little camera up here does the same thing. Really nice. So they could copy image, save image as, and then insert it. Again, great tools for utilizing technology. So once the student is done with their worksheet, however you'd like to run your classroom, if you want everything just turned in and graded on this application, that would be great. I do require my students turn in all their assignments into my Google Classroom. So I would have this linked to my Google Classroom. And probably my favorite part about this application is we have a skill check, an assessment at the end to check their knowledge and ensure that they obtained and absorbed the information you needed them to from this lesson. So the students answer the questions, and then those results go back to you. Also, if you go back to your class, there are some great help articles over here. Let me move my head for you. If you'd like more tutorials on enrolling students manually, using the class code, viewing assessment results, managing class rosters, changing settings, or finding gizmos. I hope you find this application useful and helpful. I know it's always great to find more ideas for lesson planning, so thank you again for your time, and good luck in your teaching careers, and I look forward to future collaborations with you. Have a great day.